Hi and welcome to Starts with Coffee Adventures. Today's adventure is going to be all about my daughter's house and her gardens out back. Look at all these weeds that my daughter and I have pulled out of her flower bed. She used this flower bed and grew veggies in the back there, and then she slowly over the years planted a perennial bed. However, she is moving and this year was not able to have a veggie garden and the weeds kind of took over. She is getting ready to put her house up for sale, so we are pulling all the weeds, which it's amazing how if you are not on top of your flower bed or your veggie gardens, how quickly and how tall. Look how big some of these are. There were mulberry trees that were 3 feet high or more. There was all kinds of grass and tons of dandelions that get in there. And of course we're trying to manicure in and around all of these perennial plants. She is digging up some of these to go to her new home and her new flower beds. She has a lot more in terms of gardens that she can work with, and it's going to be a lot more flowers and perennials. And this year she did a veggie garden in buckets, so she has a whole channel. Her channel is Green Bee Explorer on YouTube. And look at all these babies. I might be taking some of those for myself. If I do, I'll be filming it. And right here, this is what it is. It's a toad flower. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Orange with those speckles on it. So they do get nice and tall. They're a type of iris. And then she's got black-eyed Susans here. She's got some cone flowers in the back, the pink ones, also known as echinacea. And then she has her hibiscus. Look at these. They're so beautiful. And she just threw some seeds at me. The seeds from this plant right here. I don't know what the name of it is. She'll have to tell me what it is because I'm not familiar with this one. But she's been throwing the seeds in there. And then over here, she has flower bed along the garage. She has some hostas along the gazebo there. She already dug out some of her clematises and her rose bush. What was the rose bush? Oh, knockout roses. She dug out her knockout roses. I already have those up at the new house. She has a hydrangea here. And then over here, she calls this her hosta farm. Has all different types of hostas. Of course, we have to weed this area too. So there's weeds in there, but there is also creeping Jenny that helps to keep out most of the weeds, so that's kind of helpful. And look at all the different kinds of hostas. That's what's so nice about them, is they come in such different varieties. I love that one. That one's really pretty. I love all of them individually. There's a different one here. So I have gotten a few of these and transplanted them in my flower beds. You guys already saw that. And she has a wisteria, and this is the plant here. But as I was weeding, I'm like, what is this over here? And it's a baby wisteria that came off of that main plant there. So plants like to spread out and propagate themselves, and you can dig them up and then move them or give them away. That's what's so fun about having flower beds and veggie gardens. Let's see what else she has over here. Oh, some of the clematis are still blooming. She has like 3 different colors that bloom. And then, oh, so I have this same double blooming iris. It's a day, no, not an iris. It's a daylily. I'm sorry, double blooming peach daylily. She's got little miniature pink roses there, some cosmos in the background. And that's basically it. But I'm filming this because this might be the last time I really see this garden, being that she is selling her home. We had so many bonfires back here, so much fun. So this is the second step of transforming the flower beds. It used to be a veggie garden too, is to put the mulch. Went with red mulch to match the red deck and gazebo. Have to do a little bit on this side too, and a little bit in the front. And then it'll be all nice and pretty. And I'll show you the result when we get it all done. Here is the finished result. Now, not all of these flowers are going to stay in this garden. My daughter is moving. She wanted to make sure that this flower slash veggie bed looked really nice for the pictures on her listing for her house. But some of these flowers, like this one right here, and I'm not sure what else she's taking. I kind of like this Astromeria back here. I might take that for myself. And she has a few other ones that she is planning to dig up, and then she has some extra bags of mulch. There's one here and one behind me that she can use to fill in the holes when she digs up the flowers that she wants. And then, although you couldn't really see them way back in the back there, we pulled out these vases, which were here when she bought the house. She always kept them in her garden as accent pieces. Now, she has her own YouTube channel called Green Bee Explorer. I'll put the link to her channel down in the description. She has done so many videos on her veggie garden, her flower beds, as she's changed it up over the years, and how she has grown things from babies or propagated them. Here she already dug up some plants and took them to her new home. So this was pretty empty and bare right here. So she decided to put a couple stepping stones in there just so it didn't look too bare. You can tell that there's definitely missing plants, and she has a whole video on that. And then she just put a little bit of mulch here and then in her front flower bed. Let's go see that. So here is her front flower bed. The one thing that she really loved when she first was looking at possibly buying this house was this retaining wall here with the bricks, the raised flower bed. She just thought that was a nice element. And then she has the hedge right here. And these have grown so much. They were so much smaller. She bought the house like 4 years ago. So they've grown a lot. She was trying to put perennials in here, and over the years she tried different flowers and different types of perennials, and she would sometimes have to yank them out because it didn't work or it wasn't quite what she was looking for. She has some of these ground cover plants in here. It doesn't look like much right now. So what we're going to do so that the pictures look good is I have some flowers in pots, and we're going to be able to bring them over and just set them right in these empty spots here, and that'll brighten this area up and give some color to it. The other thing that she loved about the front of this house was this Japanese lace maple. Now, he's not looking as good as he possibly could. He gets a little bit too much sun here, and in order to keep it healthy, you really have to be watering it twice a day. Well, she's been away so much that she hasn't been able to do that, and then the only shade it really gets is this tree right here, which is not very big. Although it's gotten bigger over the years, it hasn't been giving it enough shade during the day. So if you have a Japanese lace maple, make sure that it is in an area where it's not getting a lot of full sun throughout the whole day. But she still really enjoyed it the entire time she lived here. So far, this is all of the flowers that my daughter has dug up out of her flower bed over here that she is moving to her new home. She talks all about these on her channel. Again, the link to that will be down in the description, and I will also put a link to her channel, Green Bee Explorer, down in the comments. Now it's time to dig up the Astromeria for my garden. My daughter is pointing out all the separate plants that are around where you can see where the flowers are that are also Astromerias. So today I'm going to plant some of the flowers that I took from my daughter's flower beds over at her house into my flower bed here. I'm trying to build up a perennial bed, but I also want to leave room for a few annuals to be popped in. So these right here are baby toad plants. And earlier in the video I showed you what the actual big plant and the flower looks like. Now these I'm going to plant down here, so I'm going to walk these over here. And I'm not planting all of these, I'm probably only going to plant 2 or 3 right along this fence. So these get really, really super tall. And this might be a temporary spot for them, but I want them to get bigger before I decide where I actually want them. But for right now, this is going to be a little toad nursery. The other flower that I dug up was this Astromeria. Now it rained really hard last night, which is good for planting today. The ground is just saturated, and I believe this bag is also full of water. I got lots of plants in here, so I'm actually going to divide this. The first flower is going to go here, and the second one is going to go down there, and I'll show you where I plant it. So this is a perennial, and Astromerias come in all different colors, and they always have like this tiger stripe on them, and they're used in bouquets and floral arrangements a lot. I particularly like this one, but I would love to get more of these in different colors. So I'm going to have to use this screwdriver to make my holes. I'm improvising because I just realized that all of my shovels and my hand tools that I use for my gardening are over at my daughter's house because we're still working on her flower beds. I don't think my husband will mind if I use his screwdriver so long as I clean it off and don't let it stay dirty and wet. The ground is nice and soft because of the rain. Plus I have like a sandy soil, so it's easy to dig. And I like using my straight stick that I know, my gardening one, but this is actually a screwdriver, but it does the same job. It's not looking so good right now, but I'm not concerned about that. I just wanted to let the roots establish themselves and survive the winter, because this is a perennial. So all of this is going to die off, you know, the first frost in the fall, and then it'll grow back, and hopefully I'll have a nice round plant there with all the flowers on it. This is my second plant, because as they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I wanted to have two separate areas with two separate plants, or this is multiple plants. See all those tubers? That's what creates the flowers, and I just wanted to have two separate areas for in case one does better than the other, you know, and once it comes back next year, I'll be able to divide that plant over and over again if it survives the winter. So I dug a hole, I got it down in the dirt, and then I have a lot of mulch here, so I'm just pushing the mulch up around it to support it, and that'll hopefully also help it in the winter time. Now it's time to do my toad nursery. I'm going to pull out some of these weeds. I'm just going to do one straight line. So a nice skinny little channel. These are not very big. I'm just going to line them up there. I'm just going to pick out a few. Not that really tiny baby. Okay, so I got 4. So I'm just going to put 4 in a row here. I'm going to make sure the roots are down in there. And then just support them with the dirt and the mulch. Now, even though it rained really well last night and this soil is a bit moist, I will be watering all my plants today. But I'm going to give these extra water, and I might come back within an hour or so and give them more water, because new plants go into a little bit of shock, and they also need just extra hydration. And here, this is what my little toad nursery looks like. Just a nice straight line against the fence here for these baby toads. Look what else I was able to get for my flower bed, a new bird bath. Thank you for watching.